What's up, everybody? Reality here. This is my Week 1 power rankings, starting from the bottom to the top. We got the Chicago Bears, who basically gave away everybody. The Seattle Seahawks gave away Russell Wilson and are going to have Geno Smith as their starting quarterback. The New York Jets, they made some moves, but they're the Jets, and they need to prove that the pieces will work. Same thing with the Texans. Texans weren't that great last year. They didn't make that many moves. So I think they'll stay around the same. I might be a little harsh on the Jets. I usually am. But hey, if they get some wins, power rankings will change. Now, I really like the Atlanta Falcons. However, Calvin Ridley being suspended all year really hurts them. They will have a chance to move up. But as of right now, it's the bottom 5. Now, these next teams, I feel like they need work. The Washington Commanders, they have a lot of weapons. We'll see how it comes together on the field. Same as the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you guys saw my video from last night, picking the Week 1 matchups, I have the Jags beating the Commanders, so I do have them above on the power rankings right now. Next, the Detroit Lions. I feel like the Detroit Lions have potential. Currently, the Cleveland Browns with, Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. Don't think they're that good. The Panthers with Baker Mayfield, I have them beating the Browns, so therefore they are above them on the power rankings. Now, here's where it comes into play. See, I am a Giants fan, and I try to be unbiased, and I really do think that the Giants can beat the Titans on Sunday, but I don't think the probability is good. We are a 5.5-point underdog. So just being realistic here, this is where my power rankings are. The Giants have a lot to prove after being a dumpster fire for the last 5 years. Next, I have the Patriots. Patriots lost a lot of players on their defense, which has coasted them through the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. They still have nothing on offense outside of Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevens. And we'll see what the Patriots can do. Next up, the dark horse candidates. We have the Tennessee Titans, who were undoubtedly like the best team in the NFL last year until Ryan Tannehill played his worst game of his career in the playoffs and lost to the Bengals. Now they have lost A.J. Brown and Julio Jones. They've suffered an important injury to the defense. Basically, from an outside looking in, they only have Derrick Henry. But Derrick Henry is a beast. And up next is the Steelers. I think the Steelers have the number 1 defense in the league. But they have Mitch Trubisky and not a lot of star power on the offense. They have Najee Harris going into his second year, and he might be a little bit banged up. They have Pat Freiermuth going into his second year. They have Chase Claypool and a couple other wide receivers. We all know what happened to Juju Smith-Schuster, so we'll see how the Steelers do. Up next, we have the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa apparently seems to get better as he goes, but he's still horrible. They now have Tyreek Hill. They have Jalen Waddle, who was amazing last year. They have lost Devontae Parker, but they still have a top 5, top 10 defense. Moving on to the Saints, Jameis Winston, who showed a lot of potential when he was healthy. Michael Thomas will be playing for the first time in 2 years. They have Mark Ingram back. They have Alvin Kamara. And they do have a really good defense. I almost want to move them up now that I'm talking about it out loud. But we're going to keep them there for now. The Dallas Cowboys, they have lost Amari Cooper, Cedric Wilson, and they currently have Michael Gallup on the injured list. Zeke didn't play his best year last year, and he's getting older. Tony Pollard is going to be mixing it up. He's also going to be getting older. Have a key injury to the offensive line, defensive injuries, so on and so forth. I do believe the Eagles are set to win the division this year. That is why I have them here, one notch above the Cowboys. According to Pro Football Focus, the Eagles have the second best offensive line in the NFL. That is something that really benefited Jalen Hurts running last season. So they do have really good weapons. They have A.J. Brown now. They have Devontae Smith. They have James Bradbury on defense. They have a bunch going for them. The Denver Broncos, they lost Tim Patrick for the year, but they have Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Melvin Gordon, Russell Wilson, and they did lose Noah Fant. I believe they got somebody to replace him. I'm not sure who that is at this time. There's also a third wide receiver, or the other running back. His name's slipping my mind at the moment. And they do have an okay defense as well. Next, we have the Indianapolis Colts, who saw Jonathan Taylor emerge as the number one running back in the league in more of the second half of last season. It seems like when Derrick Henry went down, Jonathan Taylor just became a beast, and that just is very weird, but that's how it happened. So they now have Matt Ryan, who I believe is a step up from Carson Wentz. They've always had a great defense, and we'll see what the Colts can do this year. Tampa Bay has Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and a great defense as well. The Buccaneers and the Colts are basically the same team, and one's in the AFC, one's in the NFC. That's like basically how it is for the Jags and the Commanders, the Browns, and the Panthers. Very much interconference reflection. Moving on to the Cardinals. I do like the Cardinals a lot. Kyler Murray is amazing. They are currently without DeAndre Hopkins. I do think it's probably fair to move the Cardinals to the end here. But with DeAndre Hopkins, I have them probably at the top of this tier. Moving on, we have the Green Bay Packers, who lost Devontae Adams, but they still have Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones and a formidable defense. So until, it goes away, the Packers were in the divisional round last year. Horrible performance, and I believe what was the snow. 10-7, they lost 10-7 after being up 7-0 the entire game to the 49ers. And Aaron Rodgers is a back-to-back MVP of the league, so that speaks for its own. Next, we have the Minnesota Vikings, who I think can finally take control of their division with the absence of Devontae Adams. Dalvin Cook needs to stay healthy. They have Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Reagor, and some good names on defense. The Chargers and the Raiders have both insanely increased their teams this year. And we will see who walks out of the AFC West as champions. Justin Herbert seems to be getting better as he goes. Should have made the playoffs last year. Couldn't do it. Lost to the Raiders. That's why I have the Raiders above them. The Raiders got Devontae Adams. I'm almost positive that the connection between him and Derek Carr, teammates in college, are going to click just the way that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, and Tua Tagovailoa do. It's just magical when you have chemistry with somebody. That's why Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski have dominated over the last 10 years. Next, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, who have replaced Tyreek Hill with Juju Smith-Schuster. They still have McCole Hardman, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They have Jerick McKinnon. I have improved pieces on the offensive line from last year. I mean, for the most part, except for Tyreek Hill, I think they're the same exact team they were in the AFC Championship game last year. The Bills now have Von Miller, so I do believe that the Bills are the better team. Von Miller makes them better. Losing Tyreek Hill makes the Chiefs worse. That's why I have the Bills above the Chiefs on this list. The Rams, currently without Robert Woods and Odell Beckham Jr., but they gained Allen Robinson. They lost Von Miller to the Bills, and that is why I also have the Bills slightly above the Rams. We will see Thursday night in the very first game of the season if my prediction here is true, or maybe the Rams come out with home field advantage, and I have to put them above on this list. But ever since the season ended, my top 3 teams have been the Baltimore Ravens, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Cincinnati Bengals. I really wanted the Bengals to beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. I really thought that the 49ers should have been there to begin with. The 49ers swept the Rams in the normal season and then lost to them in the championship game. That's how the cookie crumbles. The Baltimore Ravens were the most hurt team in the NFL last year, just like the 49ers were the most hurt team in the NFL 2 years ago. The Baltimore Ravens have Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Bateman, J.K. Dobbins, Kenyon Drake, and they have some good pieces on defense. The Baltimore Ravens have unfortunately not made it out of the wild card round since having Lamar Jackson, but I think as all the rest of the teams become more even in the league, it's time for the Ravens to take that step forward and at least make the divisional round, if not the championship round, where I could see them losing to obviously the Bills or the Chiefs. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of people say that Trey Lance is supposed to be an improvement from Jimmy Garoppolo, and we'll see if that's true. I thought the 49ers were the best team in the NFC last year. That's not changing this year. They're still the same exact team. They played in the NFC Championship game last year. And last but not least, we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who played in the Super Bowl last year. They've drastically increased their offensive line. They somewhat increased their secondary. That leaves a very minute amount of weaknesses amongst their team. This will be Jamar Chase's second year in the league. They have T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow. They have lost C.J. Uzomah to the Jets. But like I said, with the addition that they've made to their offensive line and in the secondary, they do still have Eli Apple, which they should replace him as soon as possible. But as of right now, this is my truest opinion on the current power rankings in the NFL. And I will be updating it every single week. If you guys made it this far, I hope that means you enjoyed it. Leave some opinions in the comment section below. Definitely give me that thumbs up. And please, if you're not yet, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell, turn on all notifications so you never miss a video of mine. And especially join my live stream videos when I go live. And if you're a big fan of the NFL, which is why you're here, I'm sure that means you have friends that you watch games with as well. Share with them. Let them know to check out my channel. And I appreciate you guys so much. Until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.